Welcome to a ServerMonkey technical video. I'm going to show you how to install RAID settings and CacheCade on your Dell server using a PERC H700 controller. In this video, we're using a Dell R710, but it'll look the same on any Dell server. So briefly, the H700 gives you the option to use up to 16 drives if your server allows. Take a look at this chart to see the key differences between iDRAC Express and Enterprise to see what fits your needs. We're using iDRAC 6 Enterprise to access our server remotely and record this video. Once you have your server set up with your drives plugged in, power on your server and wait for the prompt to enter the BIOS setup. You should see it right around here where it says to hit Ctrl-R to run configuration utility. You may need to hit Ctrl-R a few times to make sure it goes through. And this will take you to the BIOS screen. The first thing you want to do is to check the controller name at the top along with the firmware version. Make sure it's updated and hit Ctrl-N to see your drives. And you can see that all your drives have a ready status, then hit Ctrl-P to go back. What is CacheCade? Basically, it's a solid-state drive used as a cache. It's a cost-effective way to improve performance speeds for your server. So frequently used data gets copied onto the SSD, and popular random read queries are directed to it to enable faster response time. It requires 1 gig of cache on your controller and, of course, a dedicated solid-state drive. Arrow up to where it says No Configuration Present and hit F2. Arrow down to select Create CacheCade Virtual Disk. Press Enter. And now you can select which disk you want to use for CacheCade using the spacebar. And then you'll arrow down again until you hit the disk name field, and you could give it a name or just leave it blank. Arrow down again until you hit OK and press Enter. And now it says your CacheCade virtual disk successful created. I'm not sure who wrote this line, but yeah, you can see that your CacheCade has been created. To clear your configuration, arrow up to the top level and hit F2. A selection list will appear. Highlight Clear Config and hit Enter. Then select Yes to confirm, and your setting is now cleared. RAID 0. RAID 0 is the most basic form of RAID setting known as disk striping, and you need at least 2 disks to use this setting. You want to be careful though, because when using RAID 0, if one drive fails, the entire array will fail. Arrow up to where it says No Configuration Present, and you'll see in the upper right corner it says Physical Disks. Make sure that you have the right number of drives showing, and then press F2. Select Create New VD, which stands for Virtual Drive, and press Enter. Highlight the RAID level. Here we'll select RAID 0. Press Enter and press the down arrow key to select the drives you want to set to RAID 0 using the space bar. Press the down arrow until VD name is highlighted, and you can again enter a name or you can leave it blank. Press Tab or down again until OK is highlighted and press Enter. And then this prompt will appear letting you know your drives have been fast initialized. And press Enter and you're ready to go. RAID 1. RAID 1 is also known as disk mirroring. It can only be used for every 2 disks because instead of writing to just one, the server will simultaneously create 2 identical disks. Arrow up to where it says No Configuration Present, and you'll see in the upper right corner it says Physical Disks. Make sure you have the right number of drives showing. And now press F2 and select Create New VD or Virtual Disk and press Enter. And now highlight the RAID level. Here we'll select RAID 1. Arrow down to select your drives using the space bar. And you'll notice that you can only select 2 drives. Every 2 drives can be set to RAID 1, but you'll need to create each pair as separate virtual disks. And now keep arrowing down until VD name is highlighted, and enter a name or leave it blank. Press down again to OK and press enter. And this prompt will pop up and let you know that your drives have been initialized. And press enter and you're done. RAID 5. RAID 5 is known as striping with parities and requires a minimum of 3 disks. Use your arrow keys to highlight no configuration present, and you'll see on the right side it says physical disks. Make sure this number matches the number of drives you have plugged in. Now press F2 and select VD or virtual disk. Press enter. Highlight the RAID level and press enter, and select RAID 5. Press enter again. Arrow down and you can select your drives by pressing the spacebar. Arrow down again until VD name is highlighted and either enter a name or leave it blank. Press down again to OK and press enter. And this prompt will appear, lets you know that your disks have been fast initialized and your drives are ready to go. RAID 6. RAID 6 uses 2 parity blocks instead of 1, so a server can continue to function even if 2 drives fail. So this requires a minimum of 4 disks. So with no configuration present highlighted, press F2 and you can select Create New VD and press enter. Highlight the RAID level and press enter, and select RAID 6, then press enter. Arrow down and you'll select your drives using the spacebar. Arrow down again until you hit VD name, and you can either enter a name or you can leave this blank. Press down again to OK and press enter. And this prompt will pop up and let you know that your disks have been fast initialized. Press enter and you're done. RAID 10. RAID 10 or 10 is the combination of RAID 1 and 0. It's known as a stripe of mirrors. Data is striped across disks and each disk gets simultaneously mirrored. So highlight no configuration present and you'll see on the right hand side it says physical disks. Make sure you have the right number of disks showing. Press F2 and select Create New VD or Virtual Disk and press enter. Highlight the RAID level and press enter to select RAID 10. Press enter again. Arrow down and you can select your drives using the space bar. Arrow down again until you hit VD name, and here you can again either enter a name or you can leave it blank. Then press down again to OK and press enter. Then you'll see this prompt which lets you know that your disks have been fast initialized. Press enter and you're ready to go. To clear your configuration, arrow up to the top level and hit F2, and then highlight Clear Config, hit enter, select Yes to confirm, and now your drives are ready for a new RAID setting. Thanks so much for watching. Look us up at servermonkey.com for more information or shop through our great prices on IT products.